Hi, my name is Janita and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So I want to talk about one of the fighters that I believe is top 2, top 3, one of the most exciting fighters in the sport of boxing, and that is Anthony Joshua, hands down. This man is selling out arenas in the UK. He's doing ridiculous pay-per-view numbers in the UK no matter who he fights. And of course, you can attribute that to the great boxing fans in the UK, because out there are a lot less decafs out there. Not saying there aren't decafs out there, but it's a lot less decafs out there in the UK than over here in the States. It's a lot more real boxing fans out there. They don't care about the color of your skin. All they care about is you representing their country. That's all they care about. They just want the UK to win. They want Team UK to win, period. Okay? So that's what makes that country so special when it comes to boxing, at least. That's what makes those boxing fans so special, I should say. I mean, you have to really commend Anthony Joshua, because we got to see him transition from an untested prospect to a battle-tested contender, and now a battle-tested champion. And he made this transition around only, 14 professional fights? I mean, it took fighters like Canelo Alvarez 40 plus fights to step up to tough competition. Anthony Joshua, he is going on a 4-win streak, beating undefeated fighters. 4 undefeated fighters in a row. At least Dominic Brazeale will be Anthony Joshua's 4th undefeated opponent in a row. Let's go ahead and talk about that fight. So Anthony Joshua, he'll be facing Dominic Brazeale, the undefeated Dominic Brazeale, in his very next fight. I like this fight. Of course, Anthony Joshua, he is a huge favorite in my eyes, in my opinion. I think when it comes to Dominic Brazeale, you know, I commend Dominic, man. I commend Dominic as well for having the confidence to step in the ring with a monster like Anthony Joshua. It's funny, too, because not too long ago, Charles Martin and Dominic Brazeale, they were scheduled to face each other. But what happened was Charles Martin, he got an offer he couldn't refuse, because they gave him an offer to fight, was it Glaskov? So he got an opportunity to fight Glaskov for a vacant belt, the IBF heavyweight championship belt. And then he ended up, we all know, fighting Anthony Joshua and getting knocked out. So it's just so crazy, because you have Charles Martin, who basically opted out of the Dominic Brazeale fight for a bigger opportunity, and then he ends up getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Now here Dominic Brazeale coming along, and now he's about to fight Anthony Joshua. And unfortunately for Dominic Brazeale, I don't think he has too much of a chance. Once again, I commend Dominic Brazeale. The man clearly has heart. You know, he's willing to fight all of the best opponents, and that's what's so great about the heavyweight division, man. Almost everyone is stepping up in competition, right? You have Dominic Brazeale, you know, he was about to fight the undefeated Charles Martin. You know, he just beat Amir Mansour, right? And now he's about to fight Anthony Joshua. These fighters, they really believe in their ability. Regardless if they're as good as they think they are, they believe in themselves. And that's all you as a boxing fan can really ask for, right? Matter of fact, that Amir Mansour fight, when it comes to Dominic Brazeale, Amir Mansour was clearly dominating Dominic Brazeale. I mean, it was competitive, but Amir was winning that fight. Until Amir, he got caught with a punch. I guess he said it cut his tongue and he had blood going in his throat and he could barely breathe, something like that. To some kind of effect, he basically was at a major disadvantage. But that disadvantage was caused by Dominic Brazeale, so you have to give Brazeale some kind of credit for that. But when it comes to Dominic Brazeale, he kind of reminds me of another Chris Arreola type of opponent, or another Chris Arreola type of fighter. He reminds me of Chris Arreola. He's big, he's strong, he doesn't have all the coordination in the world, he doesn't have all the speed in the world, and he definitely doesn't have the best defense in the world. But he has heart. And he showed a lot of heart in that Amir Mansour fight. Man, he showed a lot of heart in that fight. Because Mansour, he was really putting it on Dominic Brazeale. I believe he knocked down Brazeale, right? I believe he knocked down Brazeale. And Brazeale, he got back up. And he rallied back. And he ended up stopping Amir Mansour. So he has the heart. But he does. His style reminds me a lot of Chris Arreola, minus that great straight right hand that Chris Arreola has. Chris Arreola, he has a really good straight right hand. But when it comes to Dominic Brazeale versus Anthony Joshua, like I said, man, I like Brazeale, I like his heart, but he doesn't really have that much of a chance against Anthony Joshua. His defense, I mean, he really lacks defense. And I see Anthony Joshua knocking him out in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I would be really surprised if the fight goes more than 2 rounds. And if it does go more than 2 rounds, I believe within the first 2 rounds, we'll definitely see Anthony Joshua get knocked down. But at the same time, you know, a lot of times when you have fighters like Dominic Brazeale, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he lands a lucky shot and maybe he catches Anthony with something. Maybe he stuns Anthony Joshua, but he doesn't beat Anthony Joshua. He doesn't beat Anthony Joshua. For as long as this fight lasts, it'll be entertaining, but I see Anthony Joshua knocking out Dominic Brazeale in a vicious fashion. Once again, Dominic Brazeale, he doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have the agility, he doesn't have the foot movement, he doesn't have the defense to compete with a talent like Anthony Joshua. But I'm really loving what's going on in the heavyweight division, man. I'm really loving it. I mean, once again, everybody is stepping up in competition. You know, Deontay Wilder, he fought again, you know, he won the title. He had to beat Brazeale Stavern to even win the title. And a lot of people thought that Brazeale Stavern was going to actually beat Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder was just about to fight Alexander Povetkin in Russia, which would have been a great fight. It would have been a great test for Deontay Wilder. I really wanted to see how Wilder was going to deal with the short, compact type of aggressive fighter with an amateur pedigree, a gold medalist in the Olympics. That would have been a great test for Deontay Wilder. So all of these fighters are stepping up is the point I'm making. You have Tyson Fury, who has the best win in the heavyweight division, which was over the former Lineal champion, Vladimir Klitschko. Now he's about to fight him in a rematch. And if he can seal the deal and beat Vladimir Klitschko twice, that validates his position in the heavyweight division. You have Luis Ortiz King Kong, who's willing to fight everyone. A lot of people believe that King Kong is the best heavyweight in the division right now. You have Anthony Joshua, who seems to be assassinating all of the undefeated fighters in the division. So shit is really heating up right now. Shit is really, really heating up. Joseph Parker is now supposed to be the mandatory for Anthony Joshua. I think they're going to have Joseph Parker possibly fight in another title eliminator bout, but so Joseph Parker will be another undefeated fighter that Anthony Joshua will go up against. So that's my breakdown and prediction when it comes to Anthony Joshua versus Dominic Brazeale. That's all I got. I'm on to the next one.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo! Hey.
Yeah.